Thanks for joining us here at 12:30 on KGW+. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Chris McGinnis will join us for a look at your forecast here in just a moment. First, let's get you caught up on this afternoon's top stories. As National Guard troops deployed to Portland by the Trump administration last year have returned home as citizens. This video was sent to us by Governor Tina Kotek's office, showing her and leaders from the Oregon Military Department greeting troops as they arrived back at PDX. The roughly 100 troops are coming back after finishing up the demobilization process at Fort Bliss in Texas. They'll now head to Camp Withacombe in Happy Valley to collect the last of their personal belongings before heading home. With their return to Oregon, the National Guard troops are now once again under the authority of the governor. Gresham police are asking for your help finding this missing 14-year-old. Authorities say Annabella Wimberly was last seen leaving Gresham High School at 12:30 yesterday afternoon. She has not been seen since. At the time, she was wearing a light-colored hoodie and carrying a teal polka dot backpack. If you know where she is, you're asked to call 911. Sheridan Fruit Company, which has been in business since 1916, says they're at risk of closing their doors. The president of the company tells us she's having trouble both filling the shelves and selling enough to stay open. She says part of the problem is rising prices from suppliers. Sheridan also used to deliver to hundreds of restaurants around town, many of whom have closed. Sheridan's president says they are trying to work with different vendors to hopefully get shelves more fully stocked and more people back in the door. All right, let's check in now with Chris with a look at your forecast as we head into the weekend. Hey.
Bright and sunny,
Yeah.
as promised. Also breezy, as promised. So yesterday we said, hey, those flags atop the Fremont Bridge would probably be standing out a little straighter. And sure enough, they are. It's not necessarily that breezy at the airport, but there are some locations, especially in the east side of town, that are experiencing very gusty winds. It's 51 last check at PDX. It's actually 53 in downtown. Some of the wind gusts this morning have been really impressive. Corbett clocked a wind gust to 67 miles an hour. Troutdale 49, Willamette Falls, I-205 near Westland, 34 miles an hour. And even on the west side, US 26 at 217. Sometimes the higher terrain of the West Hills catches that east wind. So that's one area that's feeling it. Not everybody feels it, but those that do are like, man, it's breezy. Meanwhile, over the east side of the Cascades, it's socked in with low clouds right now. This is the live look in the Dalles. It's 41 with that low cloud deck. And as you can see here, that's pretty well locked in place. And I think it will be for probably at least the next 2 days, if not 3. It's 41 in the Dalles, 32 in Pendleton, 51 last check at PDX. Our high for today, probably about 53 or 54. We keep it clear and breezy. The weekend forecast coming up after the break.
Okay, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. An Oregon City man who pleaded guilty to killing his girlfriend and dumping her body in the woods has now been sentenced to life in prison. 56-year-old William Blake admitted to shooting 38-year-old Jennifer Stewart at his home in August. Prosecutors say Blake then drove to a Home Depot where he bought a tote, garbage bags, and gloves, and then dumped her remains on Forest Service land. In court, the victim's mother called Blake a, quote, rabid, savage beast. A popular online gaming platform is facing a new federal lawsuit alleging it failed to protect a 12-year-old Washington girl from a predator. The lawsuit filed yesterday accuses Roblox of allowing an adult man to target the minor through the app. Bridget Chavez has the details.
It's supposed to be a game for kids.
The whole thing is geared to kids.
But this lawsuit alleges Roblox has become something far more dangerous. A hunting ground for child predators.
They are really looking to hold Roblox accountable, but beyond that, to make sure that what happened to them does not happen to any other family.
The lawsuit filed Thursday morning in federal court in Northern California was brought on behalf of a Snohomish County family. It alleges a predator targeted their daughter when she was just 12 years old.
We have over 40 cases now filed all over the country. And the facts read almost, verbatim, where you have a predator that is using Roblox to prey on a young child.
Jamie Powers, an attorney for the family, says what happened here follows that same pattern. The predator identified and targeted her in a Roblox game, falsely claiming to be a child of her age. Then employed well-documented grooming tactics, building trust under the false pretense that he was a peer. He then manipulated the plaintiff into believing that they were in a relationship and coerced her into sending multiple explicit images of herself, If she refused, he threatened her until she complied with his demands. In a statement, Roblox said in part, "We are deeply troubled by any incident that endangers any user. Roblox aims to build a platform that sets the bar for safety online, and we prioritize the safety of our community." Legal experts say this case hinges on a much bigger question.
The parents and the people that are bringing the lawsuits are trying to claim, no, you're a product. And as a product, you bear liability, like if I was putting out a defective car or a defective drug or any of those kinds of things, you're strictly liable for the results of that.
That responsibility is exactly what courts are now being asked to weigh.
Obviously, if you're going to maintain a playground, then you have a responsibility to make sure that there's nothing like flamethrowers or pointed sticks or other kinds of things around kids.
Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.
ODOT is warning that without more support, service and staffing cuts are on the way. Now, the Department of Transportation says it now has a funding gap of $242 million. So that could mean cutting more than 1,000 positions and reducing service. In a committee meeting earlier this week, lawmakers suggested that ODOT needs more flexibility. The agency is required to keep costs for operations and maintenance to 6% of its budget, with the vast majority of spending earmarked for new construction.
It is the legislature that directed ODOT to spend all this money on capital projects that has now sucked up all the money and pulled it away from operations and maintenance.
While Democrats passed a transportation funding package last session, Republicans gathered enough signatures to put parts of it, including a hike in the gas tax, to voters in November. Governor Kotek is now calling for the bill to be repealed so lawmakers can start over on ODOT funding during next month's short session. And straight ahead on KGW News at 12:30, the confusion of tax season is almost upon us. Why experts say if you plan to use AI to help you file this year, you may want to think again. And the U.S. Postal Service is changing its postmark rules. Why Oregon senators joining 14 others say this could disenfranchise voters.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Tax season opens in just 10 days on Monday the 26th. And if you don't know much about doing your taxes, you may be tempted to turn to AI chatbots. But experts say with all the recent tax code changes, turning to AI could be a bad idea. Leanne Denyer has the story.
Tax season is imminent.
It is not business as usual. The legislation that was passed on July 4th of 2025, commonly referred to as One Big Beautiful Bill, had many tax changes implemented.
Joyce Chang with the California Society of Enrolled Agents says this tax season, it's important to consider where and from who you're getting guidance from, especially if you're using AI.
The issues that people will run across with AI is they have to be really careful to check to see when that information was last updated. And if they don't do that, they could be reading old information and getting themselves into a pickle.
The tax experts that we talked with said it can be helpful to use something like an AI chatbot or social media to learn more about tax filing. But they said it's important that you fact check from there.
Kaya Klotzek is a California Tax Education Council board member and tax expert. She says it's important to understand state-specific rules and how a major life event could impact your filing.
Everyone's tax situation is different. And, just like on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, when they're doing those things, they're talking about generalities, right? Or they're trying to make a statement for themselves. They're trying to be really flashy and grab your attention.
Both experts say if you're using social media or AI to help you out this tax season, be sure to follow up with a tax professional.
If the awareness is being increased by that social media exposure, that's a good thing. But it has to be followed up with getting the correct information about it.
And as we approach tax day, a group of U.S. senators are speaking out about changes to processing at U.S. Postal Services that they say could impact also mail-in voting when it comes to Election Day. The updated policy says postmarks will indicate when a piece of mail was processed rather than the first day of the Postal Service receiving that mail. 16 senators, including Oregon Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden, argue that even if someone gets their ballot in on time, they're at risk of their vote not being counted as the ballot sits at the local post office. They are particularly concerned about the impact on rural communities. A spokesperson for the post office says the processing changes will not change existing operations or practices, adding the agency looks forward to clarifying the senators' misunderstanding. Still, due to the change, election officials in Washington are recommending people return their ballots a week before Election Day to ensure they are counted. All right, 12:42 on your Friday afternoon, moving along through the day. And what a nice one it is, Chris.
How about a nice weekend? I'll see your nice Friday and raise you a nice weekend, minus the wind. The wind is going to die down a little bit as we go into Sunday. We're also eyeing that next chance of rain. Where and when? I'll let you know with the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Thanks for joining us here at 12:30. A nice day out there. A little windy, though, you said.
For some folks,
Yeah.
really windy.
Okay.
Actually, let's go to the east side. I'll show you some of the numbers again. This is impressive. Corbett gusting to
Oh my
67
goodness,
miles
yeah.
an hour. Yeah, that's
Wow.
That is tropical storm force winds. Of course, folks in the gorge and near the gorge are kind of used to this when we get into this environment. But in any event, that is more than enough to blow a few trash cans around for sure. But even check this out. Willamette Falls Viewpoint, I-205 near Westland, 34 miles an hour. And sometimes even the West Hills catch that gusty east wind. So US 26 out near 217, that wind is coming right out of the West Hills and through the gaps there at 33 miles an hour. So again, some of us quite breezy through the day today. That is, of course, one of our headlines, but of course, so too is the sunshine. The breeze will subside a little bit tomorrow, more so on Sunday. We've got a dry weekend ahead and no rain in sight until Wednesday and Thursday is what we had yesterday. That is looking less and less likely. So we may rip off another 5 to 7 days of not a drop of rain, which is getting us into some rare air for the month of January. January, of course, is on average Portland's third wettest month of the year. This is when we expect to get days of rain. Not happening this January. We also have that low cloud deck that is just socked in east of the Cascades. You can see that plainly here on the visible satellite imagery. So folks out towards Wasco and Sherman, Gillum, and Morrow counties, well, you've been stuck under this, and you probably will again tomorrow. This is the live look from the Dalles. It's currently 41 degrees there. Air stagnation advisory continues for that part of the state through Tuesday. Also for portions of the Willamette Valley that are not getting stirred up by that east wind, that air stagnation advisory also continuing. The east breeze has its benefits. It does mix things out a little bit, at least in the metro area. But you can see here, Futurecast keeps the low clouds locked in place here, East Gorge and across the Columbia Basin for the rest of today, most of tomorrow, and then retreating a bit on Sunday. The rest of us should enjoy a good deal of sunshine right on into the MLK holiday on Monday. It is brilliantly sunny right now in our state capital. Look at that. 54 degrees now in Salem. The beach is gorgeous. There is not a cloud in that shot. Is that right? It's 59 degrees. Is that right? No, that's the temperature reading right now in Lincoln City. 59. Futurecast has actually the Tillamook and Tillamook coast getting Tillamook County coast getting up to the lower 60s this afternoon. That is something for January. All right, low 50s will do it here in Portland. The breeze probably keeps temperatures in the metro area up. If you don't have the east breeze tomorrow morning, you're probably going to be quite chilly. But in any event, that mixes out. We all see west side of the state. We all see sunshine tomorrow. And you can plainly see how the effect of the cloud cover is keeping the temperatures very, very much cooler here out across the East Gorge and across central Oregon. Futurecast keeps us dry through the weekend. We'll fast forward real quick. We were eyeing Wednesday and Thursday as that next chance of rain, but now Futurecast, at least the European model, seems to hold that off until beyond the range of our 7-day forecast, which is, again, really something for the month of January. We just don't rip off this many consecutive dry days with not a drop typically, but that's what we're looking at here. So enjoy the sunshine. 55 today, 53 tomorrow, and we'll keep it in the low 50s right on through early next week. Stephanie?
All right, Chris, thank you. Still ahead, the Portland Fan Expo returns to the Oregon Convention Center. Coming up, a preview of what you can expect across the 3-day event.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
Of comics, movies, TV shows, or cosplay, this weekend is basically your Super Bowl. Fan Expo Portland kicks off today in less than an hour at the Oregon Convention Center, and thousands are set to attend. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson checked out a preview for us.
Well, we're here at the Oregon Convention Center this morning where Fan Expo is set to kick off this afternoon for the very first day of the 3-day event. It's going to bring together tens of thousands of people, fans from across the area to celebrate all things pop culture. And we're here with Jerry Milani, who's a Fan Expo spokesperson, to talk about the event. What can people expect to see?
I mean, if you love movies or television or art or science fiction or cosplay, dressing up in your favorite costumes, comics, whatever you love about pop culture, we're going to have that here, and there's going to be thousands of other fans who love the same thing you love.
And vendors, I mean, talk about those dozens of vendors that have so much to offer.
Yeah, fans will come here. Let's say they're coming for Lord of the Rings because they love Lord of the Rings. By the time they've gotten back to the area where the celebrities are, they've run into some people in cosplay. They've run into vendors who have a unique piece of memorabilia maybe from the series, or have something they've created in the arts area, in the artist area. Everything here is all under one roof.
And we have some heavy hitters as far as TV and movie is concerned. Josh Holloway from Lost. It looks like Walter Koenig from Star Trek. That's a huge one. But we also have a lot of the Hobbits coming because there's a special event.
It's the 25th anniversary of the original movie, and so 4 of the Hobbits are here. The 4 Hobbits are here. They're doing a big celebration all throughout the entire year, but in particular here in Portland. We sold out the Saturday one already, so they added another one for Friday. So we're going to have a Friday night tonight. So if you missed out on the opportunity to get Saturdays, the 4 of them together on stage is a treat in itself.
And I mean, fans come from all over just for this. I mean, The Lord of the Rings is a huge series that people it's a cult favorite.
Yeah, this is the only show that we do in the Northwest. So people have put this on their calendar for months and months. And when we announced that the Hobbits were coming a few weeks back, we had a lot of interest from everyone.
Well, if you're interested in coming down to the Fan Expo here at the Oregon Convention Center, tickets start at $40, and on Saturday and Sunday, the doors will open at 10.
Looks like a lot of fun there. And check this out. The Blue Angels paid a visit to the Rose City ahead of this year's International Air Show in Oregon. Officers with the demo team at the Portland Airport Guard Base say they are excited to return for this year's show. The Blue Angels will be back in, or rather over, McMinnville in mid-August. We'll be right back after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Chris is joining us. You've been talking about this winds, and now it's having an impact.
Yeah, so we've been talking about this traffic alert with the I-205 Abernathy Bridge closure, weekend closure postponed. They were supposed to close the bridge tonight. ODOT saying because of the high wind, they're going to scrap that for tonight. Okay. It's still on play, though, for tomorrow night. So know that between Oregon City and Westland, the 205 Abernathy Bridge will be closed overnight Saturday night, but not tonight. All right, back to your forecast. Yeah, it's breezy out there. It's been windy in various places, especially right near the Columbia River Gorge. Corbett clocked a wind gust, I think, to 67 miles an hour earlier this morning. If you're not feeling the east wind, it's quite lovely out there. And a lot of us in the 50s. In fact, the Oregon coast, parts of the Tillamook County coast could be in the 60s this afternoon, maybe even again tomorrow. So I've got Portland at 55 today, 35 tonight, 53 tomorrow, and a little cooler on Sunday, I should say. MLK Day Monday, a return to maybe some patchy fog in the morning, otherwise sunshine for days. That rain chance that you see there Wednesday, Thursday keeps looking less and less likely, which is, again, remarkable here for January.
So maybe sit yourself next to a window today if you have a lot of wind.
Enjoy the sun.
Just enjoy the sun while it's here.
That's pretty sad. Bundle up, go for a walk.
All right, thank you. And a reminder, we have added more live news to KGW Plus. You can watch an extra 2 hours of sunrise from 7 to 9 a.m. and evening news at 5:30. We hope to see you back here today at 4. Have a great day.